Good morning, my woolly friends, and how are you on this nice and cloudy day? We're supposed to get some rain today, which is okay because I put my garden in on Sunday. How about you, Peter? Got more in your garden yet?
I have my garden in.
Ah, all of it?
I planted my onion bulbs, and that was the last thing I had to do.
All right. Well, I got to watch the rabbits trying to figure out how to get in the fence to the garden today, and couldn't do it because we double fenced it. We learned our lesson there. On the way to work today, I was thinking about doing the video, and I thought, what am I going to say? Because I knew it was a short video, and for some reason, Alice in Wonderland came to mind. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. What's Alice in Wonderland got to do with wool? But then I got to thinking about spring and flowers, and there's a scene in Alice in Wonderland where she stumbles onto a flower bed, and each of the flowers had a different personality that came out. Some of them were the hoity-toities, and they don't have time for just anybody. And then there were the dandelions, who they took them as flowers. They welcomed them into the flower bed, and just all trying to figure out what kind of flower that Alice was. And she wasn't a flower. And there's, so you're a weed. So then they tried to drive her out of the flower bed, and they're stomping their roots and everything and chasing her off. And, I kind of thought about it, that there's a flower bed that kind of went a little crazy over the last couple years. And I keep looking at it and going, why don't they just stomp their roots and get rid of the weeds? But that's not happening. Because I once heard from Dick Crum that a weed or a perennial or a flower is just a weed with a good press agent. And you think about that, and it's true, because years ago I planted Sweet Annie. And if you have ever planted Sweet Annie, you'll know that it is the most amazing smelling plant. And whenever I would get stressed, I would go out and just rub this plant, or rub my hand up and down, and just the aroma coming off the leaves was very calming and soothing, but its seeds went everywhere, and they last forever. So I'm trying to get those weeded out, but it's just not working. Maybe I should just give up and let that be a grow what's going to grow kind of bed. I think I read today that it was called chaos gardening. And I went, that's a good name for it. So, but I hope you're enjoying your spring and all the flowers. And my roses are blooming, which I was going to dig up this year, but Peter told me no. My husband said no. So I just planted 25 coneflower plants in there, and we'll see who grows better. So we'll see how it all goes. But in the midst of all of that, we've been working on Bertie's year. Last month we talked about April, and if you remember our last video, we talked about doing the half square triangles and trimming them up and putting them on our borders. Well, after the video was over, Peter told me his way of doing it, and I thought it was really good. I haven't been able to try it yet because I didn't get the borders on mine yet. But before you open up and iron those half square triangles that you have sewn together, Peter leaves them folded up, and then he lays the square up ruler with the line on your stitching line, and then he's trimming all sides at the same time. And I thought about that several days afterwards, and I went, that really makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to try Peter's way next time when I get ready to do the borders, and I think it'll be a good quick way because everything's done and you move on. You eliminate a step, and I'm all about that. So
I learned that from watching Dawn use that ruler in one of her quilt-alongs. I remember her using the ruler in one of her quilt-alongs, and it just kind of stuck.
Yeah, that was, well, obviously it stuck in my head because I was still thinking about it a month later. I have just had an incredibly busy month with my daughter graduating from nursing school, everything here at work, the retreat, getting the garden in, the plants. So I'm a little behind, but a little ahead. So I'm not sure what that looks like, but last month we talked about April, which Bertie was looking at her eggs in the nest. So you should already have that kit. And this is my finished Bertie block. And that was really fun trying to figure it all out. it was kind of curious that on the nest you had to cut a slit and then insert the eggs in that slit.
Oh, that's fun.
And I had to think about that for a few minutes going, okay, so I have to stitch the eggs down, then I have to stitch the slit down and stitch the nest down. But I think it all worked out. Everybody's in there. Everybody's where they should be. It was just a quick stitch. I mean, it felt like it took forever, but everything went together. I got a little confused on my leaf thread colors, but I think they all worked. So then we're going to talk about May, which is coming up and should be going out this week or next week. Probably this week. I'm on vacation next week, so
Yay!
I'm excited.
Is there a cabin in your future?
Oh, there's a cabin and a dock on the lake and trails and all kinds of good stuff.
And lots of cross stitch?
Lots of cross stitch. I'm debating on whether I'm taking my sewing machine, but I keep going back and forth, and I'm kind of on the idea of no, I'm not going to take it. It's just what I would work on. I would have so much to take with me, and it's easier. I will probably take my card kits and work on some cards, and then cross stitch. I'm going to try to get June at least fused down so I can take it with me and get it stitched up so I can be ahead of the game. There's just some little things like that I can take that I can just toss in a basket and be good. So my husband always jokes that most of the stuff we pack is mine, and I'm like, oh well. So this is May's kit, and it's got some beautiful colors in it. Let's see. If you're thinking these are flowers, that's a flower center, Bertie's beak, the leaves, the wagon wheel, the ribbon. Here's the basket. There's Bertie and her wing. And then we're using, again, the blue fabric. There's a couple, I think, blue, red, yellow, and green. I think those are the 4 colors that are duplicated. Those fabrics are duplicated in the borders throughout the year with Bertie. So, I'll give you a hint. We give you 1/8 of a yard of the cotton fabric. So between April and May, I'm going to see how much I can get out of just April's cotton fabric. And then I won't have to cut into May. But if I have to, I have to. So I'll let you know next month how that goes. So I like to take the risk and see how it goes. So Bertie's year in May, with all the colors that I showed you. Here's the flower bed that was chasing Alice out of there because she was a weed. But you've got your bluebells, you've got a cone flower. The pink one I think looks like a petunia. And they're all in a basket with the bee. I love Bertie's hat. That is the thing that drew me to Bertie's year, is all the different hats that Bertie would wear. And have we decided if Bertie is a male or a female?
In the book, somewhere in one of the chapters, it talks about Bertie and Bertie's friend. Because they're not all Bertie. It's Bertie's year, but then the other bird is Bertie's friend.
Okay, but this is Bertie, right?
Well, I didn't read that chapter.
Oh, Peter. Okay, if anybody out there figures out if Bertie is...
And the person that told me is Wendy. Wendy told me.
Okay, Wendy, let us know the page number.
Wendy's the smart one.
Well, if you think about it, in the animal world, the female bird is always the dull-colored bird. Because if she's sitting on the nest, she doesn't want to attract attention. To where the male would have all the bright colors. Think about a cardinal. You know, the male cardinals is bright red. You see them everywhere. But the female, she has a little bit of red on her, but she's mostly this taupey color. So I'm going to call Bertie a she. So, right or wrong, Bertie will come tell me. But hey, Wendy, if you find the chapter and the page, let me know. But this was fun. Oh, I will have to tell you. When you go to fuse down the bluebells, make sure you have them go in the right direction. They are a bell-shaped flower. So the wider part is to go at the bottom. These didn't go on the right way. And I got ready to stitch them down, and I went, wait a minute, that's not right. So luckily I was able to peel them up and then fuse them down again and stitch them down. But you've got your bee. He's enjoying the flowers also. So I really hope you're enjoying this journey that we're taking with Bertie throughout the year. June is so cute. You can look them up in your book, but Bertie's enjoying watermelon, and watermelon is my favorite in the summer. I can eat a whole watermelon all by myself because my husband doesn't like it, so it's all mine.
I think you've given me an idea. I think I'll get a watermelon and try it and eat the whole thing this year.
Oh.
Just on the back porch, or back deck, I meant.
Take a week.
On the back deck.
Because what I do is I cut all the rind away, and so I've got all this watermelon just chopped up in chunks in a big container. And, you know, a quick snack, you go and grab a couple pieces and gobble them down. And I ate the last of my watermelon last night, so I'm going to get one to take with me. So, all right, well, enjoy the spring, enjoy the flowers, your garden, and all those good things, and enjoy Bertie's year. Let us know how you're doing. Wendy's been really good about posting her pictures, and we want to see yours too. Like I've told you, these are your projects, so if you want to do something different color-wise, that's fine. We want to see that. So you might inspire somebody else to just step out of that box and not do it just the way the book says. So have a great day. Even if it's going to rain, it's a good day to stay in and stitch or read or sew or whatever you want. Just don't clean the house, okay? It'll just get dirty again. So have a great day, and we'll see you next month.